Guys, this is PARM with Pro Box Respect TKO. I'm at the Pedro Boxing Amateur Gym in Hackney with the one and only James Cook, MBE. Sir, how you doing?
Not too bad, sir. You?
Good. Yeah, very good. Nice sunny day as well.
Absolutely.
Catch
me on a good day.
Yeah, absolutely. We're both smiling. Champ, for the viewers, you're the former British and European super middleweight champion. You retired obviously a few years ago. Now, for the viewers again, you are, as I said just now, you've been awarded the MBE. Just tell us in what line, how did you come about to be awarded the MBE?
I got the MBE, to be honest, by working with young people. I've always said to myself, this is what I want to do. If I'll make it and not make it, I still, want to do it. Yeah, I mean, I still feel at the end of the day, young people need some guidance.
Sure.
They need someone, to sort of guide them. And I mean, it was unfortunate. Well, it was fortunate for me that I've started to make a name in boxing. So they don't give me too much of a tough time now. So it's not too bad. So I've got the MBE for that, working with young people. I went to Buckingham Palace, see the Queen, and born from my mom, this lady is the only lady what frightened me.
Really?
Yeah, I was absolutely shaking, sweating, and she asked me a couple of questions. I think by the third question I said to her, please mom, don't ask me no more.
No more, I'm sweating.
Okay, Hackney need you. And so yeah, that was it.
That must have been obviously a very proud day, but how did you just take that in your stride? I mean, you got the Queen there.
To be honest, when you're growing up, there's certain things in life, to be honest, you don't expect to. I mean, I was growing up in Peckham, running around in Peckham, play boxing with my friend and telling them they're Joe Fraser and Muhammad Ali. I remember at the age of 14, 15, I'm saying to people, I will never meet the Queen. Just see this Queen on TV, going to the West Indies in the front part. Thought I'd never meet the Queen. It's not something that you think of.
Of course.
Coming from Peckham, or, I'm not rich, I haven't gone to this posh school to meet the Queen. So it was something to me was sort of shocking in the sense, meeting the Queen. And the point is, when the letter come through the door, I throw it away, because the letter come through the door and it says, I'm your service, blah, and I throw the letter away, chuck it inside the bin.
No way.
I did. And I didn't really believe it till the boxing board phoned me. And when the boxing board phoned me, I went upstairs, said to my missus, this could be true. So I ran back downstairs in the bin, grabbed the letter and polish it off and say, yeah.
Excellent.
That was good.
As I said, very proud moment, and congratulations to you as well, champ. You mentioned obviously why you got the MBE. Quite an ominous name, but I know this area was known as the Murder Mile. Has it always been that bad?
Yeah, it's like every year. The point is, I grew up in Peckham.
Right.
Don't forget, we had the Brixton riot. We had the 13 who killed in the fire, and New Cross. And then I was supposed to be at that party, but I was boxing the Monday, so I didn't go to that party. Don't forget, and we also had the Tottenham riot. So in every part of life, it's always, some part of it has always been rough. It's always been tough. You understand me? But it's how you conduct yourself and you handle yourself through these tough times, and so coming to Hackney where they got Murder Mile for two reasons. It was one reason, when I was in Peckham and I was doing boxing, I had to compete with guys, Derek Williams, Julius Francis, Duke McKenzie. I didn't mind because these guys was all different weight, but when I come to Hackney, I had to compete with a guy named Michael Watson, who said,
wow,
he was good looking, he was a good fighter, so that upset me.
But you still achieved so much, and you're an inspiration to a lot of people, especially what you've been doing after boxing. I know I was saying to you about off camera, we spoke about places like Peckham, Thomas à Becket, Old Kent Road as well, and it isn't what I mean. If we go back 15, 20 years ago, as you said, a lot of these places aren't what they are today, because you can walk around freely today. It's very cosmopolitan, very trouble free.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Things change in life, and sometimes we've got to learn to change with it.
Of course.
If we sit down there and thinking, people said about 400 years and 500 years, but we got to sometimes we just got to move along with time. I mean, my kids them trying to keep me up with the latest gear. And I can't keep up with the latest gear, so they buy me and say, Dad, you will go good with the young man. So now when I wear the latest gear, the young boys and girls I'm working on, they say, oh, you got fancy trainers, you got this. don't like these trainers. Take me 20 minutes to put on. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just gotta go with it.
Of course. You mentioned you've been in the area for about 38 years.
Yeah.
So how did you come across the Pedro boxing gym?
Well, to be quite honest, I used to run from Peckham to Hackney, and I tell you how I become from Peckham to Hackney. I lived in Peckham Estate, not Peckham Estate. My mom and dad lived in there. Dad bought a house up Dulwich. I moved back in there with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And me and my wife now, we grew up in Jamaica till when I left, and I left there around 9.5. And I remember she saying to me, James, when you reach London, will you write me? I reached London running around. I forgot all about Carmen. And I think I was about 17. My auntie says to me, James, Carmen, come over. You want to go look for her? And I was so confident. I went there to look for Carmen in Hackney with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And when I see her, I looked at her and thought, damn, I should have right. So that was the end of that. You know, I used to run now from Hackney to Camwell Green, Peckham, Dulwich, to run back and forward. And that's how I end up over this side now for about 38 years.
Wow, wow.
Because my oldest daughter, she's 35. So yeah, 38 years.
I couldn't believe when you said, you know, you're 50, 58, you look amazing. I was here about 4 weeks ago. You had one of your annual open days, a lot of champions here, yourself, Derek Williams, Rocky Kelly, Johnny Oliver, Colin McMillan. That must feel great giving back to the community, right?
You know,
and having champions come and support you as well.
It's absolutely, because the thing is, you know, I'm saying to people, I explain to people, listen, we are all born on the same estate, on the same street. We're no different from nobody. It's just that sometimes we just gotta work harder than the rest,
yeah.
You know, to achieve something. And to be honest, these guys make me more famous now than when I was boxing.
Right.
You know? And the thing is, I remember, you know, working across the road with my dad. You know, my dad was a plasterer, and I was mixing up this stuff for them. And these flats, they had, you know, they had no windows, and the police come in and hit me. You know, and I look at my dad and I thought to myself, I want to be like Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? I want to be sort of famous, and I don't have to do this 9 to 5 like my dad. But then I'm even though I sort of earn money in boxing and things like that, you know, I've always worked. I've always worked with young people. You know, it's a passion. You know, I can't let it go. You know, I think so. Anyone who achieves something, I'm the first one to say to them, whether they're actors, whether they're singers, whether they're dancers, go back in the area and help somebody. You know, when I was growing up, you have so much things going on. You have Boy Scouts, you have Youth Club, you have Girls Brigade, you have where you can learn to cook. We don't have this no more. You have the council and the government knocking down everything, selling it off, they're building, but they're not building nothing for young people. I'm saying to people, if you build something for young people and you have 6 of us out on the street, guarantee you 3 will be inside the club and the other 3 or 2 might follow.
Yeah.
But now you're building and you don't have nothing, and everybody's out on the street now. Now you be getting your gangs now. Now you're getting, you know, where everybody's fighting over drugs. Where the people got reality. There's a lot of drugs on the street. There's a lot of money making. This is what's happening, and this is what killing off our kids and our young people.
And we need to put places out there where kids can go to
absolutely
and get away from these issues.
It's amazing now. Nobody wants to do cooking, you know, because
I love cooking.
Absolutely. I mean, this is how you teach young people life skills.
Of course.
You know, you teach them something. I mean, if you look around Pedro Club, you could see all the signs about respect, manners, and attitude.
Yeah.
Young people forget all about that these days. You know, I mean, the first thing you want to teach is learn to teach people, say, excuse me, sorry, please, thank you. I said to people, if I have a shop, I probably don't make no money, because there's no way you could come and chuck the money on the counter and point to that and say you want that.
Yeah.
You have to use these simple things, and that's what it's all about.
It's all about courtesy and manners.
Absolutely.
You mentioned about your passion working with young people. So from a training perspective, is there any guys here, I say guys, but I mean boys and girls, that really excite you and you think maybe one day they will sort of go far?
Yeah, there's, you know what, as a coach, you see plenty of young people, plenty of talent coming through, but you know, you never can tell, because you know the time for them is when they reach the age of 15, 16 is how they guide. I mean, I've spent time, you know, I'm in Croydon, a school in Croydon, and I make effort of getting a couple of the young guys them from over that side to come to Pedro Club, because I see this wonderful talent. I see the Anthony Joshua, I see the Floyd Mayweather, you know, and I take time to bring them down, but whether they want it, yes or no, they don't see what I see.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I've been doing this when I was 10. You know, they don't see what I see. And the problem with our young generation is that they want quick things, they want quick money, so they haven't got time to go through the hard work to make it last. And that's the difference. You have to decide to do the work to get where you want to go.
And plus, it's an age where there's going to be loads of temptations thrown at you as well, and you've got to just keep away from all
Absolutely. of that. You have to have parents. Parents is frightened in the sense of, we want to be honest, parents is frightened for their kids because you can't shout at your kids, you can't do this, you can't that. So kids want computer, they want that. They've got so many things to do now.
Yes.
You understand me? There's kids now who they want to play outside, don't want to go for a run because they sit down on computers, they sit down on their phone, they do this.
iPads, all the work.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I remember when I was at school and I think I was 14 years of age and secondary school, the guys in front of me was wearing what you call the shoes with the kind of buckler. And I said to my mom, I want one of them, and I kick up my shoes, kick out the bottom. I used to wear the straight shoes, kind of winkler pickers.
Yeah.
So I kicked out the shoes, and my mom said, yeah, I'm gonna buy you a pair of shoes. And then, I was in PE in secondary school, and my mom come in school, and she flung the shoes across the road. Say I was a tall guy at the age of 14.
Yeah.
And guess what my mom bought me? She bought me a 6-inch bloody platform.
No way.
She did, and she said, kick these out now. I think I weighed once, and I went and get back my shoes, put paper in it, and I thought I don't want.
So mum was one step ahead of James Cook, huh?
So mum, she was,
Yeah.
So, and I think, for young people, we've got to, though there's things out there what will make them go off the rail and probably do good things or bad things, but as a parent, I'm trying to say to kids, sometimes parents, we're born in a time where everybody, got to do different things. Or, to be quite honest, this just sum it up and say, we all wasn't born with a golden spoon. If you have to work hard for something, you just have to work hard. This may be your talent, whether you're a bricklayer, plaster, or whatever. This is what God gave you a talent is, and this is what you have to do to achieve it. But you can't just be a plaster, or a mechanic, or a boxing, or a boxer. You've got to learn things. You can't just be a footballer. You've got to learn things. You've got to see around people and have that little bit of skill to be complete or almost complete. Because I always said there's not a perfect human being, so you try your best to get as far as you can.
Exactly, because it's one big difference having a God-given talent and another really applying.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you've seen plenty of boxers who've got that talent and haven't followed through.
Definitely. I've seen, I've seen boxers with such great talent, and you say, because things become natural to them, they don't have to do as much as the people. Whether it's the George Best, Erkan Higgins, or Horn Kirkland Lang, these guys just gifted. Muhammad Ali, these guys just gifted to the core. You understand me? But the rest of us ain't that gifted. We've got to work hard.
Work hard at it, absolutely.
But the guys them who's gifted don't give that 100% all the way. You understand me? Because they're so good, and I think that's always a problem. I mean? But there's always a way of saying, you know what, I've got this gift, but I've got to keep it shining. And that's why I think people don't understand somebody like Floyd. No matter how much money he's got, he's been in the gym from a baby, his dad, his uncle. He's learned everything there. He's very gifted, but there's one thing he do, is always work. He's always inside the gym working.
Yeah, and people don't realise that. I mean, I've seen some videos where even when he's out of camp, he's running like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
I mean, when we're sleeping, the guy's running.
Absolutely, and that's what people don't realize. And if you mention to somebody, you gotta get up 3, 4 o'clock. I used to get up at 3 o'clock, drive to Elf Doncaster to get my long distance running. And people don't know. I remember, running around Hackney Downs, and it was foggy, and I'm running, and I run right into a tree. Boom. A tree kind of knocked me out because I couldn't see, but I had to put the work in because I know. I was a middleweight, and you have such great fighters in the middleweight, great guys with great talent.
Yes.
So I knew I had to work hard.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I want to touch on your professional career, 35 professional fights. How did you get into boxing?
Well, to be honest, this was, I must admit, I could remember as a kid, we was running around in Peckham Estate, and a mate of mine named Rupert Stable said to me, James, they're closing down a gym. And I mean, I as a kid, I played all sport. I want to try all sport. I couldn't play football that great, but I used to run to make sure I want to challenge people and things. Sure. Cricket, I was quite good at cricket. Athletics, I think And rugby, people don't realize I used to play rugby for my school, and I thought any sport I was gonna make it in is either rugby or athletics.
Yeah.
You know, and we happened to go down this gym who was closing it down in Camwell Green, and I went inside there, and the bloke said to me, "You're quite good at this," you know. And I said, "Am I?" And he says, "Yeah." And because I was closing down the gym, it was a local paper, and it says there was my name in the local paper as part of the young kid who went to the gym to try and keep it open. And I picked up the paper and I started to read it, and I thought, I kind of like this. So I think I went around and buy every paper, every sort and press in London at that time, you know, because my name was in it. You
right,
know?
yeah.
About 9.5, going 10, you know, and that's the way I carry on. And you know, I first went, people don't know, I first went to the Lynn Boxing Club. And as a 10-year-old, I was pretty tall. I walked into the gym and there was this little skinny white kid inside the corner. And I looked at him and I thought, I could have him, you know? And the guy said to me, "Yeah, you want to spar?" And I said, "Yeah." And I went in and I'll be quite honest, he just kicked the shit out of me.
What, this small white
This
kid?
small white
wow.
kid. And I picked my bags up, walk out the gym, and I said, "I'll be back for you later." And so I ended up next door. I ended up next door to that gym was Cumber Grove, East Street.
Okay.
East Street, and that's why I went. And I just pick it up from there.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, just because my mate said to me, "Rupert, let's go down the gym," when it was closed, I just pick it up from there. But in between certain gap, you know, and sort of growing up, you don't attend regular, you're back and forward to the gym, you know what I mean? And then when I was 16, 18 now, you know, I had a couple of fights, one this southern area, well, not the southern area, the southeast did twice, boxed for London,
yeah,
you know, so I fought all I ever wanted, to be quite honest, I didn't mention British title, all I wanted was just to be champion of the area.
Okay.
And to me, that was good enough because the sport was to me, was very hard. There
yeah.
was plenty of skillful fighters and boxers out there at that time. So me winning a area title was good enough. And the point is, when I boxed a guy twice as an amateur named Johnny Graham.
Okay.
And then Mickey Duff and Terry Lawless was watching this Johnny Graham.
Big names.
That's right.
Great names.
You know? And Johnny beat me twice in the London final, and I thought, the second time when he beat me, I thought to myself, no, because I think I'm a very good judge of boxing. I may not get the right result when the fight is on, but I think boxing for myself, I was a very good judge. And somebody says to me, well, my coach said to me, Jimmy Redwell, well, if you're going to be robbed like this or get beat like that, you might as well get paid for it. So I looked at him and I said, well, you can get paid. You get paid for boxing. So he said, yes. I said, okay. So, you know, Hal Hamilton used to write for The Voice.
Okay.
He said, you want to turn pro? And I said, yes. And he says, inside the South London Press, Cook was going to turn over. Just watch it. That's all it says. But with Frank Bruno, Derek Williams, Duke McKenzie, it stated that they was going to be champion because, you know what I mean, these guys was pretty good. And it just says, skillful boxer, but watch out for him.
Yeah.
And that's all it said. You know, and then I went, you know, and just started to work hard, and that's it, you know.
You retired in 1994. I'm sure there's many people or boxers on your record, but just a few of the ones I wanted to mention who were role models for me growing up as well. Herol Graham, Errol Christie, who unfortunately passed away recently. Mark Kaler.
Yeah.
What do you, just homing in on that fight with Errol Christie, which you won, what do you remember about that fight?
Well, you know what, quite honest, Errol Christie, you know, come from Coventry, come to London, and like I say, at them times, I think I joined a camp, Darky Smith, and Darky Smith used to take me abroad to box, and I boxed Retriano, the German world champion. I boxed Tamo Yusuf E.T., and you know, a couple of fights I lost on points abroad.
Okay.
You know? And then I realized even when I win, I probably end up losing on points. So I said to myself, any British fighter beat me at a certain stage of my life, I'm gonna retire, you know. But it never really stick into my head. And I think at that time I boxed Errol Graham for the British title. People don't understand. Elf Lancaster got escalator. and I run up escalator. This first time I'm saying I'm going to a training camp.
Right.
You know, I live in Dulwich with my mom. I live in Hackney with my missus, and I moved to Eltham Castle by my auntie. And I spent about 3 weeks up by my auntie, and I've been running up Dulwich, Eltham Castle escalator, because I thought to myself, I'll be there at the end of 12 round with Errol, Bummer Graham, and these guys was, you know, great fight. And I used to look at Bummer Graham, and I thought to myself, there's no way he's gonna swing like that and he's gonna hit me, you know. And this is what's in my head.
Sure.
You know, and we went Sheffield, and man, I feel like I was from Germany. You know, the way the crowd was sort of for Herol, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
thought,
hostile.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I thought, come, I'm just down the road, a couple of miles down the road, you know. And I boxed Errol, and I lost on points, and I thought, okay, Errol is the number one, you know. And from there on, I said to myself, any British fighter beat me, I'd retire. But before that, I think, to be quite honest, my biggest break was Michael Watson. You know, being the sort of first man to beat him, sort of, I lost 3 fights abroad, and Mickey Duff chose the fight, you know. And I think when I boxed him, because I had these tough fights abroad, I was prepared. Michael was tough, you know. Michael gave me, you know, I mean, I beat Michael on points, and for me to beat him on points, you must know, you know what I mean, Michael is a tough.
Well, he's been in with Christie Senior, Nigel Benn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's fought the
and
best.
like I said, when I come to Hackney, I was reading about this Michael Watson, but he was young, he was pretty, he was good looking. And being a middleweight, you know, that upset me. So when the fight was made, I just jumped on the chance, you know what I mean, because I thought to myself, well, you know, we both live in Hackney, you've been Stoughton, I'm in Hackney now, so we'll take it from there.
Take it from there, exactly.
So, you know. So.
And just want to, you know, obviously we've got a huge fight tonight as well, over in Vegas, Ward versus Kovalev. Any of the current fighters, I mean, you've got Anthony Joshua's picture behind you.
Sure.
Is there any of the current fighters, British, non-British, that you like watching?
You know, sort of growing up watching, you know, our boys, our crew, our crop of fighter. You know, I think people don't understand, we're born in different era, we're born in different time, and we've got to give the guys them credit where they're due. I mean, I've said to people when I was fighting, if I look in the rating of 30 fighters, I thought, God damn, I'm going to get killed by at least 25 of them, because you know how good they was. You know, I mean, the only person ever outrun me was a guy named Tony Simpson. You know, me and Herol, Errol Evolution, I live at sort of Peckham down the road, and was sort of make or break for me with that fight with Errol. You know, and I think people don't understand, when you're sort of neighbors, you know, them fights become tough.
Yes.
You know, people don't understand it. If I'm up the road and you're down the road, fight like that become very tough. You know, and so me and Errol, we had a good tough fight, and it sort of made room. But, you know, I first had a look at Errol, you know, John Mugabe, all these guys run the era of me, and I thought, you kind of pick something from these guys, because these guys, you know, they was good, they was top of their game, you know, they're pretty good fighter, they're fighter with talent, you know. And anytime I go inside the ring with any of these guys, I've always try and pick something from them. But funny enough, where I think I had the advantage of even beating Errol, we sparred together about a week, about a month before we actually fought.
Okay.
We sparred together.
Which is unusual,
that's
right?
That's right, with Herol and Jim, you know. And I must admit, Errol did get the best of the sparring session, you know. And my manager looked around to me and he says, I'm going to make the fight with you and Errol. I thought, I said, and I'm thinking now about the sparring session, you know what I mean? But I know I work hard, you know what I mean? I know, to be quite honest, I said to myself, if I'm going to lose a fight, you've got to get me between 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Because after 5, you ain't going to get me, you know, sure. I'm going to be yours. And that's where my mind is all the time, because, you know, I'm sort of a guy like Dennis Sancho. The longer the fight go, I get warm.
Another great name, you know, here, Dennis Sancho.
I get warm. And even when I went pro, Dennis was one of the first person I ever sparred with. You know, and you take things from them. And the first 3 rounds when Dennis was sparring, Dennis was missing me by a mile. But as we going on, he was getting closer and closer, so we had to stop the sparring session and say, "Oh, I'm just turning over." That we'll do.
And plus, he got better with age as well, didn't he?
Absolutely.
You know, WBC champ.
And we had great fighters over here. You know, guys like where I look at, we had Neville Brown. You know, good little box fighter. You know, And so you take things from them. I'll be honest, we had even Roy Gums.
Yeah.
You know, when people said to me, when Roy Gums was going to fight Mark Kayla, I was sparring with Roy Gums at Wellington. And people said to me, who's going to win the fight? And I says, Roy Gums, because he's skillful, he moves and he was touching. And somebody, this old bloke looked at me and he says, no, James, he's not, because he's got no heart. I said, no, you can't tell me that. You know, I think he's got better movement, better skill, you know, than Mark Kayla. But when Mark Kayla was going to fight Errol Christie, you know, I said to Errol Christie that you're not going to beat Mark Kayla, because I've done a lot of sparring with Mark.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know how tough he was.
And a lot of people thought that was a 50-50 fight as well, didn't they?
They did it, you know what I mean? And skill-wise, yes, but
sure.
Heart-wise, Mark Kayla, you know, if anybody know boxing, Mark Kayla, you have to drag him out there. You know what I mean? This man got so much heart. You know, when you think he's down,
yeah,
you know, he's always there, you know? And because they've been champion before me, even when I had to defend my European title against Mark Kayla, I know how hard I had to train.
Sure.
So I had to double up on the training because I spar with the man. I know how tough the man is. I know how tough the man gonna be. I know the man used to think probably, hey, I used to pay this guy to spar with me. So, you know what I mean?
Well, as they say, there's no shortcuts in boxing.
Absolutely.
And when you take shortcuts, you're going to get found out.
Absolutely. And that's so I've kind of look at them and look at things. And I tell you one guy I used to look at, you know, take the thing. There was you know, John McGarvey, you know, but there was a young guy, well, this young guy, there was a guy named Mickey Duff used to bring over here, Kassan Demuti.
Okay.
You know, light heavyweight, good fighter. And I saw him chuck certain punch, you know, he put his body at the handle to chuck certain punch, you know. And you go, you may not practice inside the gym because you thought you don't want to be stealing the man's style. You know
sure.
I mean? But when you come out and you're having your thing, you know, you're looking for the little twist. John Conte, you know what I mean? You know,
great name, yeah.
Such a beautiful fighter. You look how smooth these guys, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I kind of touch on a little bit of what they do and try and put it into my game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying it work all the time. Some of it work, but it's one thing I knew, you know, I developed was sort of my jagging. I thought if I could get that going, just like John Conte, Kasademoto, John Mugabe,
yeah,
you know, if I could get my job working, you know, because sometimes as a fighter, what you don't want to do, you don't really want to fight with one hand, you know, but when you see these guys using one hand, I thought to myself, I don't know, I like to use my right hand as well. I just like to chop, you know what I mean? But if you can command somebody with your jab,
just your jab, yeah,
you know, then everything will start flow from there. I think that's what I pick up from.
Yeah, everything flows off the jab, doesn't it?
You know?
Before we leave, I just want to say, obviously, amazing work you're doing here, James. You've always got champions coming down, which shows you the level of support you have here. As you said, all these great names. Obviously, I've seen some of the media stuff you've got up. You've had Prince Philip down here, the former Prime Minister David Cameron. How can people reach out to you, sir, if they want to help? Because I know you've got some big plans for this place as well.
You know, people can listen. If you really want to help the Pedro Club, you send your check for. I know there's no check now. I think the Pedro Club is the only one who's got check, but we've got a Just Giving page, www.pedroclub, or just write to the Pedro Club. Or listen, I'm not afraid to give you my telephone or my address. You know, James, you can just send what you can through to Pedro Club. We need this stuff done for the young people.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna say, I really like what you're doing, you know, because I don't think people understand boxing, and for you to leave it and come back and doing this and to spread more boxing all over the place is brilliant.
Yeah, I've always had a huge passion for boxing, and thank you for your time, because you're an inspiration. And as you say, I've had a lot of help from a lot of different people supporting me all the time. If I start listing them, we'll be here forever. But listen, thank you very much for today, and I wish you all the best with Pedro Amateur Club. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.